In the year 1887, a ghost made of iron began to haunt the Parisian skyline, rising amidst a classical world of limestone and ancient art. A raw and metallic structure started to stretch upward, appearing like an industrial monster to the citizens who watched with deep suspicion and growing fear. People called it a useless tower and a stain upon the beautiful face of France, completely unaware they were witnessing the birth of a global legend. Amidst the whispers of failure, Gustave Eiffel's vision took shape piece by piece, defying the architectural norms of a city built on stone and tradition. Every strike of the hammer echoed through the streets of Paris, a rhythmic scream of progress that many found deafening and entirely unwelcome at the time. The foundations were laid deep into the earth, and anchoring a structure that was meant to challenge the very heavens and change the world's perspective forever. As the iron skeleton grew, so did the controversy, marking the beginning of an era where engineering would finally transform into a profound work of art. Inside a room filled with the smell of ink and ambition, Gustave Eiffel worked tirelessly, calculating every single stress point of his magnificent iron dream. This was not just architecture. It was a grand mathematical challenge. Eiffel, the master of steel bridges, designed a symbol for the new industrial age. The design required 18,000 separate iron parts and 2.5 million rivets, with a margin of error of less than 1 millimeter. Eiffel stood his ground against the critics, defending his iron masterpiece as a triumph of modern science that would eventually capture the world's collective imagination. By making the tower hollow, he allowed the wind to pass through harmlessly, solving a problem that had limited the height of buildings for centuries. 7,000 tons of iron were meticulously accounted for, every gram serving a specific purpose in this massive, lightweight structure that dared to touch the sky. He was not just building a tower, he was challenging gravity itself, proving that iron could be as graceful and enduring as the finest marble sculptures. Every calculation was a step toward a new reality, where human ingenuity could overcome any physical limit and redefine the very definition of modern beauty. These millions of rivets were the heartbeat of the project, holding the massive weight together through storms, heat, and the slow passage of long decades. As the structure climbed higher, it became impossible to ignore, a giant metal skeleton that whispered of a future the world was not yet ready for. With every signature and every approved plan, Eiffel pushed the boundaries of what was considered possible, paving the way for the skyscrapers of the future. The pace of construction was breathtakingly fast, a feat never seen before. Month after month, the tower reached further into the clouds with relentless speed. Construction workers performed a dangerous dance in the sky, moving with incredible precision and bravery as they pieced together the giant iron puzzle high above. The rhythm of the hammers became a symphony of progress, a mechanical heartbeat that announced the arrival of the 20th century to the people below. Paris began to look like a miniature toy city as the workers climbed higher, gaining a perspective that no human had ever experienced before this moment. Giant steam engines and complex pulley systems worked tirelessly, providing the brute force necessary to lift thousands of tons of iron into the Parisian sky. Every piece arrived pre-drilled and ready to fit perfectly, a testament to the incredible engineering and logistics that Eiffel had mastered for this massive project. Neither cold nor rain could stop the progress. The workers pushed on, driven by the historic magnitude of the monument they were helping to create together. As the golden hour hit the iron frame, even the skeptics began to notice a strange geometric beauty emerging from the chaos of the construction site. Accuracy was the absolute law of the site. A single error could cause the whole structure to lean, but Eiffel's team achieved a terrifyingly perfect verticality. These men were the pioneers of the heights, living and working in a realm that was once reserved only for the birds and the heavy clouds. With the completion of each level, the scale of the achievement became more apparent, silencing many who had predicted the tower would simply collapse inward. The elevators were a marvel of their own, designed to travel along the curve of the legs, carrying people to heights they had only ever dreamed of. On March 31, 1889, Gustave Eiffel himself climbed the 1,700 steps to plant the French flag at the very summit of his creation. The tower was finished, a beacon of progress for the World's Fair. Now, the only question was whether the people of Paris would ever truly embrace it. It stood as the tallest man-made structure in the world, a title it would hold for 4 decades, marking the pinnacle of 19th century engineering and ambition. When the World's Fair opened, millions flocked to see the Iron Giant. The sheer scale of the tower left visitors speechless and filled with modern wonder. The suspicion turned into fascination. Standing beneath the massive iron arches, people realized they were looking at the true soul of a new industrial France. At night, the tower transformed into a pillar of light, guiding the citizens of Paris into a future where technology and beauty would be forever intertwined. The fierce letters of protest from famous artists and writers began to fade into irrelevance as the public's love for the structure grew stronger every day. The tower was saved from demolition by its scientific utility. It became a giant laboratory, hosting experiments in meteorology, aerodynamics, and the brand new field of radio. As the world's tallest antenna, it became the ears and eyes of the nation, providing vital communication links that would prove essential during the coming wars. The famous writer Guy de Maupassant claimed to hate the tower so much that he ate lunch there every single day, just to avoid seeing it. By the turn of the century, the temporary structure had become a permanent part of the Parisian identity, a landmark that defined the city's modern spirit. It stood as a protector, and a giant lightning rod that demonstrated the power of science to tame the elements and keep the city safe from nature's fury. During the Great War, the tower played a crucial role, intercepting enemy signals and helping the French military coordinate their defense of the capital city. The 20-year deadline passed, and the tower remained. It had moved beyond its utilitarian origins to become something much deeper, a symbol of national pride and resilience. Eiffel honored the great minds of France by engraving their names on the tower, turning the structure into a permanent monument to human knowledge and discovery. It survived the occupation and the threats of destruction during World War II, standing tall as a silent witness to the darkest and brightest chapters of history. From postcards to movies, the image of the Iron Lady began to conquer the world, representing the romance, the art, and the history of the French capital. As the decades passed, the tower did not age. It evolved, transforming from a controversial engineering feat into the most beloved icon in the entire world. Entering the modern age, the Eiffel Tower has never been more alive. Every evening, it bursts into a brilliant display of 20,000 sparkling light bulbs. The old iron structure now carries the latest technology, using energy-efficient LEDs to continue its legacy as the bright, beating heart of the City of Light. Today, it is a global meeting point, welcoming millions of visitors from every corner of the earth who come to share in its timeless, romantic atmosphere. The park below has become a stage for life's most beautiful moments, from simple picnics to grand celebrations, all held under the watchful eye of iron. More than just a monument, it is an economic powerhouse, valued as the most valuable brand in Europe, worth hundreds of billions to the French economy. It has become a world-class venue for music and art, hosting massive concerts and light shows that define the cultural pulse of modern-day Paris and Europe. Inside its levels, luxury and history meet, offering world-class dining experiences that allow guests to touch the iron while overlooking the shimmering rooftops of Paris. The iron is repainted every 7 years to protect it from the elements, ensuring that the legacy of Gustave Eiffel remains as strong as the day it opened. To fly through its structure is to witness a masterpiece of air and iron, a delicate balance of massive strength and incredible, lace-like architectural beauty. It has earned its title as the most romantic place on Earth, where thousands of life-changing promises are made every year amidst the clouds and history. Through every season and every change in the world's weather, the tower remains constant, an eternal anchor for the identity of Paris and all of France. Its rotating beacon serves as a modern lighthouse, A signal that Paris is awake, alive, and forever looking toward the possibilities of a bright tomorrow. To touch the iron is to touch the past, a direct connection to the workers and the visionaries who built this monument over a century ago. The tower and the river are two halves of the same soul, creating a reflection that has inspired countless artists, poets, and dreamers throughout the ages. As the world changes at a dizzying pace, the tower stands still, a testament to the fact that great things take time, courage, and unwavering belief. 135 years later, the Iron Lady still stands tall, her presence more dominant and more celebrated than ever before in human history. When engineering reaches its absolute peak, it transforms into art. What was once a controversial pile of iron is now the world's most recognized masterpiece. Generations have come and gone, but the feeling of standing beneath this giant remains the same, a profound sense of awe at what humanity can achieve together. It is a monument that reminds us to look up, to dream bigger, and to never be afraid of the critics who fear the face of progress. The Eiffel Tower is the silent clock of Paris, measuring the decades with its shadow and witnessing the transformation of the world from its high, iron perch. It remains a vital part of our global network, proving that a 19th century structure can still be at the cutting edge of 21st century communication technology. When the world celebrates, it looks to this tower. It is the backdrop for our greatest triumphs and the ultimate symbol of our shared human spirit. Gustave Eiffel's ambition reached for the clouds, but his legacy reached the stars, creating a bridge between the industrial past and our limitless future possibilities. It serves as a constant inspiration for the next generation of engineers and artists, proving that even the most hated ideas can become the most loved. The Iron Lady will continue to watch over Paris, a symbol of resilience, romance, and the eternal desire of humanity to reach for the great heights. From the screams of raw iron to the soul of a nation, the Eiffel Tower remains the ultimate testament to the power of a single daring dream. Join us as we continue to explore the wonders of our world. This is the story of the tower that touched the sky and changed everything.